sitting around drinking beer, and we're bored, and we found out we had a whole lot of like electrical equipment, stereos, computer parts and stuff, and trying to figure out what we could do with them. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook up a car stereo indoors. It'll work off car speakers or it'll work off regular speakers by using a computer power supply, just something you have hanging around. A computer kind of blows up, the power supply is still good, you can use it. Alright guys, here's the deal. This is a project. We're going to put car stereo and speakers in the garage here, the finished off garage. This is the end product right here. It's not cleaned up, but it's how it's going to work. You've got a speaker up there, a speaker over there. These are just cabinets behind it. And then I have my workbench back here. And a setup here with tweeters. So the whole thing is powered by an ATX power supply, just a typical computer power supply back there. Now everything's going to be put together a lot cleaner when I finally get to make it look good, but the reality is it's pretty easy to do. Turn it down. Sounds really great. The whole thing, I guess the major thing you have to do is on the back of the stereo, there's of course a harness that comes off. You're going to use the red and the yellow. Both are 12 volts, so you put it to a yellow out of the back of the power supply. That's 12 volt. That's going to power the whole stereo. That's going to be fine. The speakers there's 4 channels, so 4 speakers. And all you have to do is remember is that black is always the negative, and whatever the color is going to be the positive. So, for instance, here's 2 green wires on one speaker. The one that has like a little black stripe is going to be the negative, and the one that's all green is going to be the positive. And it works for all the same way. And it'll just be in the instructions you have. The back of the power supply, there's 2 things. One is that for some reason it has to have a little bit of a load on it. That's why I have a fan going. I'm going to put the fan up over here, and it'll kind of cool the system down anyway. But it's something that I don't really know why. But if you have a load on it, it'll come on. If you don't, it doesn't. So you need something like that. The other thing is just the green wire. There's a green wire on the harness, and you have to jump the green wire to turn it on. And I'll show you something a little closer later on. So, but once you do all that, then all you do is just put it together like a regular stereo, run the wires to the speakers, and it cranks up. Anyway, long story short, first of all, you want to make the power supply work. And the way you do that is you have to have a load on it, and you have to jump it. You have to jump it because it's normally jumped on the motherboard of a computer. You push the on button that connects it so it goes on and off, but you don't have that here. I do have an on and off switch in the back. Right here, that's going to be the on and off switch now, because you permanently jump it with, this is what plugs into the motherboard. Now this is a 20 pin, where it's because it's an older power supply. All the newer stuff is 24 pin. So here's computer manual. If you look in the manual, they all are going to be the same. This is what this would go to. Basically that is that. So then you can read to the side exactly what has, how many volts running through it, what color wire has so many volts, and this and that. Normally, by what I can see, I think it's the red wires have 5 volts going through them, and yellow have 12, and of course the black wires are grounds. I don't really know what all the other ones do, except the green. There's one green one here. There it is. You can barely see it in there. It's actually the 4th one over in there. And so the 5th and 6th one over is a black. What you want to do is just jump the green to the black. You want to ground it out. This is like basically a computer saying, pushing the button and putting them together so it works. But it just all was on if you just put it together. So, now these are all the things that plug into your peripherals, your hard drive and stuff like that. I cut one of them, and I just have an old computer fan that I had hanging out. And basically, that one came apart. What I'm going to do is this is going to be bench tested right now, so it's kind of ugly and not in really good shape, but I'll make everything permanent, solder and that stuff later. I just want to make sure it works. So I'm going to get the yellow one here and put it with this yellow one. The black is already on the black, red's on red. And we'll see what happens. So I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. So basically I have the black wires together down here, red, yellow, and when I plug this in and turn it on, the fan should go. Now you have to have a fan or something. It's not just to test it. For some reason, it wants to have a load on it. Okay, there we go. Fan's working. Turn it off. Bam, fan's gone. So I know there's power going through it. I know it's working. Things are hooked up well. And we can go to the next part. Bottom line here is, if you check it out, let me get in there. Get the finger in there. There we go. The yellow off of the computer power supply, goes to both the yellow and red coming out of the back of the stereo. Hook it up that way, the yellow from the computer power supply to the red and yellow, and make sure you have it grounded. There's the ground over here, the black to black. And when you turn the power supply on, come on baby, there we go. I just added a speaker just to see if this would work. There's two purples, one's purple and one's purple with like a black stripe. And there's the same thing for the green with the black stripe and regular green. The one with the black stripe is the negative. The black's always negative. But you put the black one, oops, well there it goes. Well, here it is. So you see the black wire and the red wire. The red's the positive, black's the negative. So I take the purple with the black, put it to the black, and then just the plain purple goes to the red, positive. And all I did was just put them through the holes to see if they work. Hit source to CD. So I guess reading it. There we go. Bam. So I put them up in the wall. So I got them up there. There's one set, and then there's the other set. So that's what it looks like from the back side. So there is the stereo, and I've got the unit back here that powers it. And like I said, all these wires aren't going to be running crazy. Once I get everything hooked up, I'll just pull them around, make them look good. So let's hit the button. Let's see what happens. Come on, there we go. Let's get source, because it's not going to get the tuner. I don't have an antenna hooked up. But if I hit source, there's tuner, CD. So I got some kind of lame old stuff in there. One hit wonders. There we go. So not bad. Okay guys, the main things to remember on this is that there's going to be a red and yellow wire coming out of the back for power, and all you have to do, here they are right here, is put it to one yellow on the power supply. It's 12 volt, 12 watt, 12 volt, and these are 12 volts, so that's what powers it. Don't forget, this is the ground. Always put a ground to the black. Sometimes they say that both grounds, the black wires, aren't both grounds. One does work, one doesn't, so just test it and find out which one does work. The second thing is, if you remember, the power supply has to be jumped in the back. There's a green wire in there, and the green wire, just jump it to a black wire. You can actually just cut them and put them together if you wish. That's the turn on and off thing. And then there has to be a load on it, so you can do anything. There's guys on YouTube that are making their lab supply. They want a lab power supply out of the ATX set power supplies, and they just put like this little diode in there or something that actually draws like next to nothing. You can't tell it. They do it on the inside, and it makes it so it's always functional. I'm just running a fan off it. I'm actually going to put the fan up in here and have the fan like blow on the back of the stereo, just so it keeps it cool. But that's about it. Then just run your wires, run your speakers, and you got it going. You got it going on. Now I just got to make it look pretty. Look pretty.